Well, we have a very special treat for you. Whether you're 5 or 50 years old, who among us hasn't been impressed by magic? Who didn't want to take 100 handkerchiefs and pull them out of a sleeve or a hat or something like that when we were a kid? Well, now we're going to learn how to do that, maybe. We're going to learn some cool stuff. Anyway, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Vanita Nair, and we are joined by Joshua Jay, I should say, author of Magic, The Complete Guide. You really wrote the book on magic.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
We should start by just asking you, I mean, since you've sold out audiences, you've written this instructional manual, is there a title? Should we be calling you Joshua the Great, or is Joshua J okay?
Joshini, please.
Joshini.
No, you know, stage names are typical, but I go by my real name. I mean, close-up magic is what I love.
Okay.
And close-up magic is a very real kind of magic. It happens right under your nose. But in that kind of magic, you don't need the great Joshini or, you know, because it's more real. It's more about who the person is.
You know, I take it in the world of magic, you're fairly young, 27, but you were telling me you've been doing this since you were 8.
That's right. That's right. And it's a great hobby for kids. I mean, I have parents write me all the time, particularly since the book came out, asking, is this something my kid should do? He's more into this than T-ball or Boy Scouts. And I mean, it's just got so much to recommend. You gain confidence, public speaking. It's somebody's project you have to follow through on and learn and rehearse and practice for friends and family. It's a great icebreaker.
Yeah, it is.
You know, for any age, whether you're trying to meet girls at the bar or just trying to entertain
The
grandma.
key way to meet women, yes.
All right, well, let's see if the great Joshini is really great, because you have some
Yeah,
tricks
of
for us
course.
here. And we're right under your nose, so we're going to be able to see if anything's...
Well, it's show and tell time. Take
Okay.
a look at that little cord
All
and
right.
take a look at these.
Okay.
You can pick them up and hold them. That makes it more fun.
Just
Okay.
medallions, it looks like subway tokens.
Yeah.
almost.
They're actually coins from China.
Okay.
And they're antique coins, and of course their defining characteristic is this hole in the middle.
Right.
And that's actually for security purposes. Believe it or not, about 150 years ago, before billfolds and wallets, this is how they would secure their money.
Oh, wow.
Makes sense, okay.
Makes sense, right? So
Yep.
you learn something too. But here's the cool thing. One by one, I'm going to cause these coins to penetrate, pickpocketing, if you will.
All right.
Now I'll go slow and I'll show you my hands empty before and after each one. Here's the first one. Close up right under your nose. Comes right through.
And there's no hole in that ribbon, right?
There's no
Okay,
hole
well,
in
I
the
have to
ribbon.
tap it to
You have to
check
tap.
that,
You
too.
check. Make sure it
Oh,
works.
wow.
Okay,
Yeah, I
pinch
know.
your fingers together just like this.
Okay.
With your other hand.
Oh, I apologize, okay.
And you're going to pinch these two. That's all right.
You're doing a great
It's your
close
assistant
position I
debut.
am, yes.
Hold it still just like that in your hands. That's the second one.
All
In your
right.
hand. You're a great magician, and you didn't even know it.
I had no idea.
All right, you saw the first one. You felt the second one.
Right.
So the last one will happen right in front of your eyes. Melts off the ribbon. Now getting it off is the easy part. Getting it back on in midair without touching the ribbon or the coin, this is the hard part. Pressure's on.
Wow.
Midair.
Impressive. Not bad at
That
all.
was very
Very
cool.
well. And we should note that your sleeves are rolled up.
I roll them back just for that reason.
Okay,
Because
very
people
good.
see it and they just say, "Oh, it's easy, mirrors and sleeves." You know.
So how long does it, I didn't
No, I was, let's go. I was at the book. I mean, why'd you write this? Is this sort of like breaking the code? Or are you letting people in on some stuff we shouldn't be letting?
It's an interesting question, but it really isn't breaking the code because it all boils down to one thing, and that's effort, right? If you see a guy in a mask and tights on TV revealing all these secrets, you're not showing any effort. You're flipping through the stations. It's just kind of happening.
Right.
On the other hand, if you show an interest in magic to pick up this book or check it out from a library, you've got to learn the tricks, practice the tricks, do them for mom and dad, do them for friends and family, and then ultimately perform them for people. There's a lot of effort in there. I mean, magic is a real art form, as you can see. I mean, this is all sleight of hand. This is a manipulation of real objects.
Right.
And it's not easy to do. So if you show that effort to learn, I'm happy to share this wonderful art that's become the passion of my life.
So you have another trick.
All right.
Prove us that you're an expert again.
All
We're
right.
not convinced yet.
All right. We'll begin this one at the end.
All right.
In other words, in this box is a surprise. It's yours to keep. But we won't look at it just yet. This is the big ending, and I'll leave it there so it's in view the whole time.
All right.
Now let's go back to the beginning.
I'm not going to take my eyes off that. So.
You burn it.
All
Burn it right there. Take out any number card you like.
Do you
Doesn't
want to do
matter.
it this time?
Go ahead. It's
No,
on.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
You go, you go.
All
You
right.
go, you go.
Get
Grab
this
that card. And do me a favor, sign your name on the face of the card. The reason I do this, of course, is because this way we know that's the same card. There are no other 10 of diamonds in the world with your
That one.
name on it.
All right.
Now, I'm not going to tell you, everybody always asks the same thing. Show us how to do it. I
Right.
can't do that because that's breaking the code like we
Okay.
talked about.
Right.
But I can show you when I do it. Here we go. That's the move. Because your card started in the middle and already it's on top. Now watch that card. We'll try it one more time. I'm going to take that 10 of diamonds,
All right.
place it in the middle of the deck, about, I'd say, 30 cards down.
Okay.
That's the magic. It comes back to the top.
It looks like all you did was flick your wrist.
That's what it looks like. That's what magic looks like, my friend.
I'm still
But
trying
it
to-
is awfully up close, and we get to see it also, and it does
Right.
just look like you twisted your hand.
I know. Well, that's what's great about close-up magic is that you're right up on.
Yeah.
Now let's try and make it a little simpler this time. We've got about half the deck that we'll get rid of to make this much easier. Would you hold on to that just for a
Sure,
second?
yeah.
Watch.
Are you still watching the box?
Oh, sorry.
You need 3 eyes for this stuff, right?
know, right?
It goes in the middle. That's the move, like you were taught. It just looks like you flick your wrist, but that's all. Oops, sorry. It's a. Hold on. Oh, this is in the top of the deck.
Oh,
You've
right.
got the
I've
top
got the
in
top.
your hand. You take the top card. You turn it over. Oh, in your hand. Your
Now,
card.
did I just perform magic?
You just perform magic. But if you think about it, magic is about enabling other people, right? I've even in the few things I've shown you,
Yeah.
I'm putting the magic in your hands to give you that feeling. Let's try one more. I'm going to bend this card. There's a move that cheaters use called a crimp. This is a cheating technique where they bend the card, because you can tell it from the face, but you can't tell it from the back.
Yeah.
But now I can tell when it's on top or when it's in the middle like that.
Sure.
Watch the card as your card and your bend come right on in, up, through the deck.
That was very cool.
That's
It
bizarre.
comes through like this. And that's, that's close-up magic. So you get to feel a little bit in your hands. But believe it or not, none of that has anything to do with the trick I wanted to show you.
All right.
Because inside that box is the trick I wanted to show you. Hold out your hands like this, just 2 fingers.
Like this, okay.
And just lift the lid of the box. Tell everybody at home what you see inside there. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Can
there's
they
a-
see?
Yes, it's a
There's
torn
a-
up card.
Not a torn up card,
Oh,
close. It's
folded.
actually a folded card, yeah. And interestingly enough, that's exactly
Wow.
the card you signed your name on.
That.
Are you
makes
sure that's
a
your
souvenir
signature?
for
Did you
you.
double check that?
better look.
That's the real thing.
Yeah, that's it. That
All
makes
right,
no
very good.
sense at all. I don't get it. But if you want to make sense of it, you can get the book. It's called Magic, the Complete Course. Joshua J. Such
Thank
a
you so
privilege.
much.
Such a pleasure. A very talented young man. We appreciate you coming here and talking with us today and
Oh.
showing us the magic.
I feel.
Did you take any notes? We're going to have to try these later.
All right, stick around. More news coming up.